We hope you don't mind a conference or two tonight, featuring the top two teams in the Metro West Conference who are ready to do battle on this edition of High School Girls Volleyball. Tonight, the Chaska Hawks at 14-6 pay a visit to the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars at 12-8. The victor not only will get a boost in the Metro West Conference race, but also a boost to their section and possibly state tournament resume. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Beaton, all by myself talking to myself. That's Chaos Theory. Chaska, anything but chaos, coming off a big win about a week ago against Shakopee, which jumbled up the Section 2 4A rankings and the Class 4A rankings. Chaska and Shakopee still close to each other. The Hawks have struggled a bit against higher caliber teams, including Wayzata and Egan. So Chaska will have a bit of a hurdle to clear if they want to go on a deep run. Not to mention the section they're in is brutal with Eden Prairie and Shakopee lurking. That being said, Chaska has a solid front row attack. Mallory Heyer, Sam Schmidt, Avery Rosenberg, all of them chipped in that win over Shakopee. Mallory Heyer often leads the team in kills, really favors that outside position, so if they can get her some sets in that area, Chaska could put up some big numbers and stay undefeated in Metro West Conference play. Bloomington Jefferson has been slowly returning to full strength. They dealt with some injuries in September, including a sprained ankle to Ellie Sieling. I talked to Ellie briefly before the game. She said she's going to give the ankle and her body a go. Jefferson 6-6 without her, missing her for 12 games, and not having her in the lineup really hurt their depth. That being said, there are some players to keep an eye on, as Jefferson has picked up a few quality wins in her absence. Ellie Sieling has 8 games with 10 kills or more, picked up her first 20-kill game of the season against Chanhassen. Melanie Meyer has picked up at least one ace in each of the last 7 games, and also provides some utility on offense and defense. Another athlete who has stepped up, Paris Alvarez. She was moved into the libero position at the Eden Prairie game. Since then, she has done well. 5 aces or more in 5 games on the service, and 10 digs or more in 9 games, including 27 in a win over Concordia Academy. Bloomington Jefferson may not have the headliners you would hear from the likes of Wayzata or Egan, but it's a scrappy group, and if they can return to full strength before section play begins, they'll be a favorite to get out of their section, Section 6, and maybe surprise a few people in the Class 4A state tournament. We'll be back to start this Metro West Conference battle. You're watching High School Girls Volleyball.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
James, she's in trouble. Finds James, toss shot, it goes in!
And everything in between.
Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
All right, it is now time to the players in tonight's contest. We'll begin with the reserve bench of our visitors from Chaska. We begin with number 1, Ryan Gusa. Number 3, Ramsey Johnston. Number 5, Sam Schmidt. Number 8, Annie Nishi. Number 11, Sasha Omar. Number 12, Catherine Lahoski. And number 15, Clara Christ. Now the starting lineup for the Hawks. Number 2, Macy Polk. Number 4, Avery Rosenberg. Number 6, McKenna Larson. Number 7, Mallory Heyer. Number 9, Katrina Thompson. Number 10, Ella Christ. Number 14, Lucy Gardis. The head coach is Sue Murphy. The assistant is Chuck Zemek. All right, let's meet the home team, Jefferson Jaguars. Beginning with our reserve bench, number 1, Emma Olson. Number 6, Tabitha Atkins. Number 7, Connie Lindbergh. Number 9, Madeline Fletcher. Number 10, Lauren Wieskus. Number 11, Paige Flowers. Number 12, Allison Clare. Number 14, Bryn Powers. And now our starting lineup. We begin with number 2, Ellie Sieling. Number 3, Cassie Sieling. Number 4, Melanie Meyer. Number 5, Ava Lunt. The libero, number 8, Paris Alvarez. Number 17, Eleanor Erickson. And number 18, Olivia Upstead. The head coach of the Jaguars, Crystal Dolman. Assistants, Micah Drexler. Those are the managers, Micah Drexler, Patty Rinda, and Abby Scarbalis. We'll introduce our managers. Are we ready? Oh, let's play some volleyball!
The lineups have been introduced. Jefferson will wear the white. Chaska will wear the purple for this game. As you saw, Ellie Sieling back in the lineup. She said she was going to give it a go tonight. Entering this game, 99 kills, 119 hit percentage. The data that was posted in the hub, some of it a little askew. They had a couple of glitches, so the hit percentage may not be entirely accurate. But Ellie Sieling, one of the top hitters for Jefferson when she's able to play. Her next kill will be her 100th of the season. And she has over 100 digs, averages 4.1%, which leads the team in that mark. 17 aces as well, so Jefferson sorely missed her as she was nursing a sprained ankle, but she's back and we're underway. The first point will belong to Chaska as the up from Ellie Sieling went into the ceiling and Karam back to the floor. Not a high clearance here at Jefferson. Ella Chris got that first point, by the way. Not a super high clearance for volleyball, so the ceiling could come into play throughout this game. As we often mention, whenever a ball gets up into the ceiling, it can create a Plinko effect. Mallory Heyer will score on the off-speed tap. And Chaska off to a quick 2-0 start. Good recovery from Cassie Sieling to keep the play alive, but Mallory Heyer scores again on the line shot. No data available for Chaska, and I don't have access to team huddle pages. But Mallory Heyer, as we said, usually the top hitter for the Hawks. And these two teams led by veteran coaches. That is a service error on Christ. Crystal Dolman and Sue Murphy, they've been at this a long time with several hundred wins to their credit. And one of the customs, you may notice this on the bench. We were here a couple of years ago. Jefferson keeps a stuffed Jaguar along their bench. Cassie Sieling scores. Jefferson, they've had to do some ad-libs throughout the year. Against Eden Prairie, they gave them a run when Paris Alvarez was switched into the libero position. Forced extras in the third set, but couldn't close out. EP won that one in a straight set win. But last week, Chanhassen knocked them off. in straight sets. Cassie Sieling scores again with a point down the middle. Another example of the parity that is all over Class 4A. Outside of Wayzata, every other position in the polls have changed hands at least once. Ball handling error. Actually, that hit the antenna. Or brushed it. Just enough to give Chaska the point to break the 3-3 tie. Cassie Sieling strikes again. Cassie Sieling leading the team in kills. And she also is versatile on defense. Good serve by the Jaguars. Chaska able to recover. Jaguars with the free ball. Opstad goes to the right. One-handed tap by Meyer picked up. Setter dunk crosses the net. Ellie Sieling from the outside. Meyer from the outside. Denied. Olivia Opstad and Eleanor Erickson are going to be the two to watch as far as blocking is concerned. Well, I take that back. Opstad more of the setter. That was Melanie Meyer. That's a point for Chaska, though. I'm sure Opstad didn't mind the plug, but that was Melanie Meyer, who certainly got an assist there. 43 total blocks. Erickson is 48. Meyer from the right side. That's Sam Schmidt with the cut. And Cassie Sieling can't catch up to it in time. Chaska looking to stay undefeated in Metro West Conference play. A win here would certainly help. Jefferson hasn't lost to anyone in conference either. Ellie Sieling off the block. Picks up her first kill. And with that, she gets to 100 on the year. Again, suffered a sprained ankle, had to miss several games. I take that back about Jefferson. They did suffer one loss to New Prague. I believe that was when Ellie had the injury. Not much at stake for winning the conference, but it does give you some leverage in seeding for postseason play. Melanie Meyer with a big up. Jefferson playing some solid defense, and miscommunication on the set results in a passing error. And Jefferson gets a free point out of it. The Jefferson student section appreciates that. Meyer blocked. Hawks save it. Meyer gets it just over the net. Net violation on Meyer. Jefferson would have scored anyway. Eleanor Erickson with the off-speed hit. 8-6 the score. Jefferson looking to go on a run. And Cassie Sieling a little too soft in the attack. Her second hitting error. She averages 3.5 kills per set. But with Ellie Sieling back in the lineup, those numbers could improve, and that's the second time Chaska has committed a passing error. Makina Larson has struggled. Those are free points, and highly rare to see a passing error like that on a set. Now Jefferson touched the wall, but Chaska would have scored anyway. Ella Christ lined up the cross-court shot with success. So we've had a couple of net violations that were academic. They count as net violations, not kills, so it does impact the stats a bit. But a close game thus far in this first set. Tough break. That ball went into the Jefferson side. Eleanor Erickson trying to send it back, instead hit the net. Tough scenario up there. We play on. And we're tied at 9. Ellie Sieling hits that out of bounds. Lucy Dardis, the libero for the Hawks. Opstad to the middle. It's Sieling, and Ellie makes up for her miscue. The beauty of rally scoring, I say this a lot in volleyball. If you make a mistake, you can make up for it on the very next play. That's what Ellie Sieling does. And so far, showing no signs of wear, nursing that sprained ankle. Ella Chris with the hitting error. 11-10 the score. Again, Chaska undefeated in the Metro West. That's what's at stake for them. Bloomington Jefferson looking for a statement win. They're still the favorite to get the 1 seed in Section 6 4A as Ella Christ hits that out of bounds, her second hitting error. Because the rest of their section hasn't put up much of a fight. You've got some youth in Burnsville who could be a team to watch down the road. Melanie Meyer scoring for the Hawks. Edina trailing Jefferson in the QRF, but looking at the grouping in Section 6, I would be shocked to see Jefferson not get out of that section. Chaska with the tougher out in Section 2. Setter dump for Katrina Thompson. We're tied at 12. For what it's worth, Shakopee currently leading Section 2 in QRF after Eden Prairie lost to Chanhassen in straight sets. Again, emphasizing the parity that is all over Class 4A in its first year. Sam Schmidt hits that out of bounds. And that result, the Chanhassen sweep, the straight set win over Eden Prairie, that really could shake things up because it looked like Eden Prairie had a clear ticket to the 1 seed after Chaska beat Shakopee. Now, the picture's a little murkier. Cassie Sieling hits that into the net. That is her third hitting error, and we still can't break this tie. The JV game was settled in extras, and with both teams at full strength, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a set or two go the same way. Jefferson saves it. And that hustle paid off on defense because Avery Rosenberg hit the line shot out of play. Here's Emma Olsen. And even though she's only 5'2", don't let that dissuade you from her athleticism. I'll explain in a moment. Big up by Paris Alvarez just a moment ago. Cassie Sieling with the tap. Meyer catches up to it. Meyer, Jefferson using the off-speed game. An extended rally will continue. After some fine hustle by Chaska. This is where things get really intense. And the rally finally ends in Chaska's favor on the block from Avery Rosenberg. The 6'1" junior. And Mallory Meyer follows up with a point. That's her 4th kill unofficially.
Okay.
Meyer got it. And we still can't break this tie. Meyer again. Meyer, I should say. That may not be the last time I get those two mixed up. Chaska will score as the dive by Ellie Sieling went out of bounds. Meyer with the heat. Melanie Meyer making her presence felt on offense. 10 kills or more in 7 games. And she's earned at least 1 block in the last 8 games. She won't be able to get one at the moment because she has to go to the server's position. But Meyer and Erickson forming quite the wall for Jefferson this year. Meyer from the right side tried to paint the corner but missed. That is her first hitting error. Jefferson takes the lead, 17-16, but leads don't mean much, at least in this first set. Opstad with the setter dump. That is her first kill. Opstad with 25 of those, so she can get a few points her way. Melanie Meyer will add another point to her column on the ace, and Chaska takes the first time out. Melanie Meyer had 24 aces, and as we noted, earning at least 1 ace in the last 7 games, so she is consistent. 19-16, Jefferson throwing the first punch. Chaska got the 3-0 advantage early, but it's Jefferson who is looking to pull away with this first set win. Again, there's a lot at stake. A win over Chaska would bolster the resume for Jefferson. They already have a win over Egan back in early September when the Jaguars were at full strength, and had it not been for the ankle sprain to Ellie Sieling, it's possible they would have been undefeated in Metro West Conference play. But they dropped one to New Prague in 4 sets. They beat Concordia Academy convincingly a couple weeks ago, winning in 4 sets. Meyer hits that into the net, so that might have been the Chaska version of icing the server. First service error on the Jaguars. Meyer will serve for the Hawks, and she gives Jefferson the point back. Bloomington Jefferson will get Wayzata next Tuesday. That may be a tough out, but with Jefferson at full strength, perhaps they can make a run. Jefferson was ranked in the top 5 earlier in the season before the injuries occurred. Center line violation. 2018. Jefferson has 2 timeouts. Chaska has 1. Oh, no, that's tough. Opstad led Erickson a little too far. And the Hawks are back within 1. Ellie Sieling painted the line, and you could not get any closer. Nope, we're going to have a reversal. The side judge said Sieling was out, so Chaska picks up the point, and we're tied at 20. Tight situation here. That set a little too far. And Chaska scoring 4 in a row. Avery Rosenberg got an easy setup. Jefferson's set led number 12, Paige Flowers, a little too far. And as a result, Chaska got a favorable sequence to work with. So both teams with 1 timeout left in this first set. Chaska has Bloomington Kennedy tomorrow and Orono. Both should be winnable games. But for the Hawks, the question for them is, can they get over the hurdle? They lost twice to Wayzata, lost to Marshall in tournament play. Marshall, the top team in 3A, they have been all season. Lost to Egan in straight sets and really struggled to get involved. Jefferson not struggling on that sequence. That was a quick timeout. And Ellie Sieling gets the Jaguars a much-needed point. 21-21. Both teams with 1 timeout left. Sam Schmidt found a spot in no woman's land.
Serving for the Hawks, Sam Schmidt.
Jefferson also lost in straight sets to Lakeville North, but again, they were shorthanded. And a passing error on Obstad. Couldn't control it. 22-21. 23-21, I should say. So Chaska 2 away from taking this first set after they trailed by 3 not too long ago. And they'll have set point following the ace from Sam Schmidt. Again, Chaska a win here, and they'll likely capture the Metro West without a loss. With Kennedy and Orono awaiting them. We play on. 3 set points for the Hawks. Chris down the middle. She scored the first point of the set. She scores the last point of the set. And Chaska fights back from 2017 to win 25-21 and get the first dose of momentum on their side. But if this first set is any indication, we are in for a doozy. Nothing has been decided just yet, but Chaska does get the advantage to start things off. We're back in a moment.
When the high school season is over, TSP Television goes on the highlight trail. Our highlight reels provide you with a valuable resource for recruiters and a keepsake of your favorite athlete. To learn more about our highlight reel services, contact us at tsptelevision@gmail.com.
We'd like to thank Bloomington Educational Television, BEC-TV, for syndicating this game to viewers in the Bloomington area. And we hope you've enjoyed the sights we have documented thus far In this Metro West edition of high school girls volleyball, Chaska took the opening set 25-21, finishing on an 8-1 run to close out the first set. But Bloomington Jefferson, I don't think they're going to fold up. We saw some production out of Ellie Sieling, a few hitting errors. From the Sieling sisters. And Chaska will score the first point of the second set, this one coming from the arm of Avery Rosenberg. And a service error on Sam Schmidt. That's the third on the Hawks. The numbers about even in that first set. Chaska with the slight edge in kills. But Chaska also had a couple of passing errors that gave 3 points to the Jaguars. Cassie Sieling earned that point, scoring off the block. Christ, blocked. Melanie Meyer got a hand on it. And so did number 12, Paige Flowers. At least she was involved in that one. Overpass, Flowers. Did she get a deflection? She did. The Jefferson crowd next to me was certainly calling for that. Paris Alvarez serving again. A tremendous performance since she suited up, and that attack hit the antenna, so a hitting error on Ella Christ. And if anyone's wondering, if you didn't see our Chaska Shakopee game, it is pronounced Christ, not the other way. Don't worry, she gets asked about that all the time. Avery Rosenberg finds a hole in the middle. Bloomington Jefferson with the early 5-2 lead, but we had multiple ties in that first set. Both teams showing their ability to go on runs and counter runs. And Chaska made contact with the net, tough break. Katrina Thompson tried to make a play in the overpass and instead brushed the net. That gives the Jaguars a free point. And Chaska scores after a frenetic sequence. We saw a diving up by Emma Olsen, all 5 feet 2 inches. But again, her diminutive frame is in no way indicative of her athleticism. Multi-sport athlete. Volleyball and track. Mallory Hire, multi-sport athlete as well. Cassie Sieling with some heat from the right side. She had 3 kills in the first set, but wasn't heard of offensively after that early run. Contact with the net. That will award Jefferson the point. Chaska making a few more miscues. A couple of passing errors. They've brushed the net a couple of times. They're going to have to clean that up. Can Jefferson save it? Yes, Cassie Sieling with the up. Alvarez with the hustle. Thompson almost slipped on the set. Here's Ellie Sieling. she misfires. So Chaska catches a break. Unofficially, Cassie had 3 hitting errors. Ellie had 2. But they still hold an 8-4 lead over the Hawks. And Thompson just painted the line. Jefferson thought it was going out. Katrina Thompson, the 5'8" junior, with the service ace. And I spoke to a few of the Chaska players a week or so ago at the Shakopee game, and Ellie Sieling picks up another point. But Chaska really liked the contribution some of the newer players were offering. Chaska 10-1 in the condensed 2020 season. The only loss was to St. Michael Albertville. Obstad tried the setter dump and instead dumped it into the net. That is her first team error. But Meyer gives them the point back on the service error. That is the 4th against the Hawks. Jefferson with just 1. Something to monitor. Schmidt had to tap it with her right arm. But Chaska will get another chance. And Ella Christ will make the most of it. Chaska, a rich history when it comes to girls volleyball. 7 state tournament titles. They were a dominant force in the 90s. Lucy Dardis serves that into the net. When you look at the points, they're conceding a couple of net calls, 3 service errors. Those can add up. Allison Clare with her first, or I should say second kill. And Bloomington Jefferson leads 12-7. Thompson to Rosenberg. Jefferson will get a fresh reset here, but they can't get past the block of Avery Rosenberg. In case you're wondering, Allie Clare does have a few kills to her credit. Not one of the primary hitters, though. 12-8 the score. Obstad to Cassie Sieling. Jefferson with a reset. Erickson from the middle. She was denied. And Cassie Sieling hits it out of bounds. At risk of jinxing these two teams, no ball handling errors yet. That's interesting. But we're in October, so some of those intangibles you probably have cleaned up or addressed by now. Avery Rosenberg with a spike from the middle. She has 3 kills in this second set. Had 2 in the first. Chaska has a few weapons on offense. Erickson responds with a point for the Jaguars, and she picks up her first kill. 13-10 the score. Erickson had 75 kills entering this game, so she can chip in a few points. Alvarez with a nice serve to jam Chaska. We noted in the open, Alvarez, 5 aces or more in 5 games. That includes 8 against Chanhassen. She had 4 service errors, but 8 aces to 4 errors. Mallory Heyer doesn't care one bit about that, though. Chris with the low serve, and that drops for an ace. Chaska inching their way back. They didn't trail by that much, but you get the sense they have the makings of a run here. The Jefferson fans not happy with that, but I could tell from here, Allie Claire got a little too feisty. Right idea, but she crossed the center line. That was a good call by my judgment from the officials. Claire got a little too feisty. A split second later, that's a tap down. But Jefferson will get a free ball here. But they give the point to Chaska on the hitting error by Claire, and that will be enough for Crystal Dolman to call a timeout. As soon as I saw her get up from her seat, I sensed a timeout was coming. Jefferson looking a little disorganized here. 14-14 the score in the second set. Chaska took the first set, 25-21. A few notes to share with you. Emma Olsen, we mentioned her athleticism. She takes part in shot put and discus on the track team. And she's not the only volleyball track crossover for the Jaguars. Olivia Opstad also participates in the shot put. Eleanor Erickson, a discus thrower. And Paris Alvarez runs hurdles and sprint races for the Jaguars in the track season. Alvarez is also a die-hard SpongeBob SquarePants fan, and I'm going to date myself when I say this. None of the athletes that you're seeing were born when SpongeBob SquarePants debuted all the way back in 1999. It won't be long before I turn into a boomer. And speaking of boomers, Ellie Sieling dropped one to give Jefferson the lead once more. Good play on the ATO. And she follows up with a score off the overpass. And she tapped it over the net. Didn't need to use her vertical at all. So Jefferson leads 16-14. 3 straight points for Ellie Sieling to break the 14-14 tie. She has 5 kills in the second set. And this is happening with a 5-2 Olsen serving. Sieling again, off speed. Chaska, a little bit of trouble. Obstad will set up for Sieling. Dardis with the dig. Higher from the outside. Yes. As you know, Mallory Heyer will play at Minnesota in women's basketball. Volleyball is her fun sport. But Chaska has a few multi-sport athletes, including Anna Lenzen, who's a 3-sport athlete, playing JV for volleyball, and you'll see her in basketball and lacrosse as well. Opstad hits that out of bounds. Kennedy Sanders, another multi-sport athlete. You'll see her in the basketball season. I can't wait to see what she does at point guard. Had a tremendous AAU season. But we still have some volleyball to get through first. Melanie Meyer got the jump prematurely. Alvarez with the up. Free ball for the Hawks. They'll set up for Meyer. And she scores again. And we're tied at 17. And Jefferson is going to use up their second timeout. Interesting decision by Crystal Dolman. If Jefferson runs in any more trouble at the end of this set, they won't have any more timeouts available. So keep that in mind. As we noted with Chaska, the win over Shakopee, their biggest of the season. Even though Shakopee has the better record, having that victory over the Sabres is going to make the section seeding quite interesting. The coaches vote when you get to 4A. Minnetonka has struggled as of late. They shot into the top 10 before falling out. Shakopee, Eden Prairie, and Chaska have been in the top 10 most of the season. Eden Prairie had to work their way into that mix, and they did so after a sweep over Lakeville South. And even though the Cougars haven't had the best of years despite their preseason ranking, as Ellie Sieling hits that out of bounds. The Cougars got a straight set win over their crosstown rival Lakeville North. So there's going to be a lot of uncertainty. This first year of 4A could produce some exciting results when we get to postseason bracket play. Melanie Meyer scoring the last point for the Jaguars. 18-18. Hired. Hits that out of bounds. Ellie Sieling didn't touch it. And that gives Jefferson the lead again, 19-18. They are out of timeouts for this set. And Meyer ties it up again on the cross-court kill. He is throwing a few heaters, but we're accustomed to that. Don't forget, Mallory Meyer also took up gymnastics at an early age before she got too tall. That's the story with a lot of the athletes who take up gymnastics. They like it, but they're a little too big. But volleyball suits her just fine as she scores again. Back-to-back points for Meyer, and Chaska holds a 2019 lead. Service error on Thompson. The Hawks have been hampered on the service game, giving up a few points to the Jaguars. And Jefferson should get a free ball here. Opstad got Ellie Sieling, but didn't get the set she was looking for, I think. Jefferson getting a few free balls out of this. Can they cash in? They will. Ellie Sieling got some velocity on it, and the up went into the ceiling. And sometimes when it gets up there, at least the way the Jefferson ceiling is configured, any ball that goes into the ceiling is going to ricochet down at a rapid rate. Her twin sister scores on the other end. And now it's Jefferson holding a 22-20 lead. Chaska will use the first of their two timeouts. Jefferson 3 points away from forcing a couple more sets out of this. A few more fun facts. Speaking of the ceilings, they have matching arm tattoos. Melanie Meyer, who has scored a few points for the Jaguars, is the only female on the Jefferson trap shooting team. Trap shooting became a state high school league sanctioned sport a few years ago. She is lettered in that sport. In case you're wondering, trap shooting is akin to clay targets. Not unlike that scene in Thunderball when Bond and Largo meet for the first time. I'm not sure if any of these athletes will pick up on that reference since the movie came out in 1965, but maybe some of the older fans will. In any case, I would not want to mess with Melanie Meyer because I figure she is probably the sniper of the team. Certainly this team. But Melanie told me there used to be 3 females, and now there's just 1, and that's going to be a point for Chaska. I thought I saw a lift. Double contact. Either way, it's the first ball handling error of the game. And that makes it 22-21. Again, Metro West Conference title on the line here. Ella Crist slams a line shot to make it 22-22. Big point here. Mallory Higher serving. Opstad to Ellie Sieling, who cuts her way for a score. Jefferson 2 points away. Chris goes off speed. Ofstad with the up. Sister. Chaska should get a good attacking chance here. And it pays off. Ella Crist went off speed. Jefferson couldn't adapt in time. Officially, it's a ball handling error. 23 all. This is a crucial point, of course. Whoever scores will get set point. From the middle, it's Ellie Sieling. And Jefferson's attacking prowess considerably better than the first set. 14 kills unofficially for the Jaguars. And it will stay that way because Ellie Sieling got the serve to make an awkward carom off of Higher. So the Jaguars take set 2, 25-23. And we're going to be with you a little while longer because we have at least 2 more sets to play. But a lot of fun awaits us in this battle for Metro West supremacy. Back in a moment.
When the high school season is over, TSP Television goes on the highlight trail. Our highlight reels provide you with a valuable resource for recruiters and a keepsake of your favorite athlete. To learn more about our highlight reel services, contact us at tsptelevision@gmail.com.
Set number 3 about to start between Bloomington Jefferson and Chaska. We had dueling roller coasters from the student sections here, the Jefferson student section and the JV and other youth players here for Chaska. We're tied at 1 set apiece, so we're going to be with you for at least 2 more sets. Bloomington Jefferson, no stranger to extending games, though. They needed all 5 to beat Egan. And that's the only time they've had to go the distance in regular season play. Alvarez starts things off for set 3, and it's Chaska who starts off again with the point. Service errors were the biggest issue for the Hawks. And that's a passing error on Olivia Opstad. So Chaska with the early advantage. Again, Metro West Conference supremacy at stake. That was ruled a deflection, so that will be a point for Rosenberg. Jefferson losing to New Prague, so they need to win against Chaska to effectively force a share of the conference title, as Chaska should be able to beat Kennedy and Orono. Melanie Meyer from the left side. Meyer saw Chaska cheating up front, so she just hit one in the back corner where no one could pick it up. Some smart play on her part, but she knows how to spot from distance. So does Mallory Heyer. She had 6 kills unofficially in the second set. Another double-digit effort out of her. But Chaska fans have come to expect that in all the years she has played volleyball. Olsen will get the assist that time to Ellie Sieling. On the other end, it's Mallory Heyer again from the outside. Jefferson hasn't found a consistent answer for her yet. The Jaguars go on the road to play Waconia tomorrow to wrap up Metro West Conference play. Alvarez with the pancake just in time on the serve receive. Mallory Heyer with 3 straight points for the Hawks. Rosenberg with the early start. Meyer offering plenty of support in the early part of this third set. Again, we have at least 2 more coming your way. And that is the one issue with Chaska. Again, that was Makina Larson. And by my count, that is the 3rd time she has made a mistake on a set. Chaska had a couple of passing errors in the first set when she was out in the rotation. And in the second set, Chaska made some contact with the net. So Larson is struggling. But it's of no consequence because Melanie Meyer's serve goes into the net. That is her second service error. Ellie Sieling with the point for the Jaguars. 7-5 to score, and Ellie Sieling is doing well. 8 kills unofficially. A little bit of confusion there. Ellie Sieling hasn't been lights out per se. Obstead serve into the net. So back-to-back service errors on the Jaguars. But Ellie Sieling doesn't look too rusty. You know, it's tough when you miss 12 games. Trying to work her way back from an ankle, but that's no joke. Chaska will score off the block. Ella Chris picks up the point. Sprained ankles are no joke. One of my good friends, Tia Elbert, had one in her senior year that sidelined her for a few games, kept her out of the running for some season scoring awards. Otherwise, she might have crossed 1,000 points again. Dardis with a service error. That is her second and the 7th in this game for Chaska. But Jefferson has struggled as of late in the service game. Claire, off the deflection, scores for the Jaguars. And that's what they need. Sam Schmidt with the point for Jefferson, or Chaska, but it looked like Ellie Sieling made contact with the net anyway, so no point there. And Jefferson, as we know, to get Waconia tomorrow. Waconia, one of the sleepers, they do have a winning record in Section 2. And they've got a win over Prior Lake. Ball handling error on the Jaguars, double contact. So a win isn't necessarily a given, at least for Jefferson if they beat Chaska tonight. Waconia could mount a surprise, but if Ellie Sieling can manage herself and if Jefferson can get in rhythm, you'd have to think a win here would put them in a very good position. Avery Rosenberg is having herself a fine third set. Chaska with a 12-7 lead. And Crystal Dolman is going to call up number 14, Kaylin Barnes. Dolman not afraid to switch things up. Remember, she put Paris Alvarez in as libero in the Eden Prairie game, and that helped Jefferson's fortunes on defense. Avery Rosenberg with another block. The Jaguars started the year going as high as second in the Class 4A poll. Egan currently holds that spot, and all indications suggest we're headed for a Wayzata-Egan final, much like 2 years ago. Service or hitting error on Cassie Sieling, and that will be enough for Krista Dolman to call a timeout. Chaska up big, 14-7. And they're getting a lot of offensive production out of Rosenberg and Mallory Higher in this third set. A few more notes for Jefferson. Tabitha Ackett's, originally from Arizona, she will play Division I softball. Elected not to tell us what college yet. She doesn't want that to be a distraction. We certainly can respect that. Paige Flowers fosters puppies. She has fostered 12 in her time. Not 12 at once. She also does some acting and modeling work with 3 different agencies. So if you've seen a few Instagram promos as you're scrolling through your feeds, you might have noticed her. And you will certainly notice that ace from Sam Schmidt. Unofficially her second. A win for Chaska, again, would likely lock up the Metro West, because I can't see them losing to Kennedy or Orono. That's a tough break. Chaska had Jefferson on the ropes. Rosenberg brushed the net. Jefferson with the free point. Chaska struggling with those net calls tonight. But Rosenberg answers on the next play. 5 kills after Rosenberg taps it. And Crystal Dolman will call a timeout again. So Jefferson out of timeouts the rest of the way. Once again, we'd like to thank Bloomington Educational Cable for syndicating this game, and we've got a few more games left on our coverage slate, if you're following along on our YouTube channel. We'll have Southwest Christian and Hutchinson on the 14th as we go to the Wright County Conference. We'll have high school football, Eden Prairie and Stillwater on October 20th. Valley Access Channels requesting our assistance in what should be a big football game to end the season. And we'll have one more volleyball game on the 21st, Rochester John Marshall and Maranatha Christian Academy. Jefferson got the deflection. And again, they are out of timeouts for the remainder of this set. First 2 sets were neck and neck. Alvarez, I'll give her this much. She's been able to make some plays against Mallory higher, and that sets up a block for Melanie Meyer. Her third unofficially. Again, at least one block in the last 9 games, including tonight, so that streak extending its length. Ellie Sieling had a tough set, which led to a tough angle, but she made the most of it, skirting the net and getting it across on the cut. This is what Jefferson needs. And Emma Olson will extend the run. The shot put and discus thrower. 5'2". Her reach is 78 inches. Not too many sub-80s, but she's racking up some big points here on serve. She leads the team in that category. And Rosenberg hits it out. That will be enough for Chaska to call a timeout. Their first. Emma Olson leading the team in serve as aces. Thanks to those last couple of plays, if they're scored as such, I'm not the official scorekeeper, but she does have at least one ace in the last 4 games. Recorded 7 of them and no errors against Chanhassen. She also has 10 assists or more in 9 games, so Emma is another player who can do it all, especially in the intangibles: passing, defense, and serving. There are many ways to contribute in sport of volleyball, but Yeah, sub 100 approach jump, sub 80 reach, 5'2". That may not surprise you because of her height or lack thereof, but she definitely belongs out there. And at the very least, is making Chaska flinch. So that will be a point for Cassie Sieling. If you're not sure what happened, the up went into the ceiling and caromed over to the Jefferson side, and the officials signaled to the roof. Emma Olsen lands another ace. Emma Olsen is en fuego. So if the ball hits the ceiling and falls to the other side, it is still Jefferson point, because had it not been for the ceiling, it would have stayed on Chaska's end. And a tough set. Jefferson has taken the lead. They trail by 8. They've scored 9 in a row. You don't see this often in the sport of volleyball. Usually when a team goes up by 6 or 7, Avery Rosenberg gets Chaska a much-needed point. But usually you don't see this type of swing. If a team goes up by 6 or 7, Kevin Anderson, when he used to chart, noted that was the magic number for teams to clinch a set. It's rare but not impossible for the other team to make a comeback, and Melanie Meyer misfires, so Chaska will retake the lead for now. It's also worth noting that Jefferson may have expended a little energy, but Avery Rosenberg will hand them a free point on the service error, and depending on the outcome of this game, Chaska, they're going to be working on some service drills the next time they get a practice. 8 service errors by my count. They are giving up a few points to the Jaguars. Obstad going for the setter dump, and it pays off. Jefferson retakes the lead, 19-18. What a third set we are witnessing here at Jefferson High School in Bloomington. It looked like Chaska was going to pull away, but a 9-0 run from the Jaguars has breathed new life. Meyer finds the corner. What a twist this would be, and what a boost this would be if Jefferson can hang on and take the third set when they were on the rocks, on the ropes, whatever analogy, whatever phrase you wish. 2018, and Chaska's out of timeouts. You don't see this often. But Jefferson, they're a resilient group. We were here 2 years ago when they played Lakeville North, went up 2-0. It looked like they were in good position for a statement win. Lakeville North answered back. The 5th set needed extras, but Bloomington Jefferson held on. The Jefferson student section applauding the efforts of the Jaguars. A win against Chaska would provide a lot of confidence with Wyzetta looming in a week. But Chaska, they're not ready to give Jefferson a sentimental note just yet. Makina Larson scoring the last point for the Hawks, but Katrina Thompson gives it back on the service error. Chaska's 9th. Jefferson with just 3. 6 points may not seem like much, but with a point on every play, The fewer free points you give up, the easier the path. Obstad to Ellie Sieling. Schmidt got the block. Obstad with the save. Free ball for the Hawks, though. And Meyer will score off the block. Meyer's 4th kill. Both teams out of timeouts. And that did not cross the net. $21-all. Jefferson trailed 16-8, went on a 9-0 run. We've been back and forth since. As we get the first look of what this Jefferson team is truly capable of, at least the first time in a long time, Chris commits the hitting error.
Substitution number 14, Bryn Olivia Obstad.
Olivia Obstad to serve for the Jaguars. Overpass. And Erickson and I believe Keelan Barnes, they were up on the block there. Barnes hadn't been much of a factor before tonight. Jefferson 2 points away. Sieling, Dardis with the dig. Here's Chris. She'll score off the block. No timeouts, as we noted before, so it's all about execution at this stage. Clara Christ, I believe, entering the game for the first time. Obstad dumps it to Meyer. Rosenberg. Jefferson with a big save. Rosenberg will try again. This time she lands it in the middle. 23-23. Who's it gonna be? Obstad to Ellie Sieling in the middle. And Jefferson with set point after trailing 16-8 earlier in the frame. Ellie Sieling to serve. Emma Olsen played a big part in that 9-0 run, landing 3 aces unofficially. Ellie to Cassie, out of bounds. So we'll do this again. 24-24. Don't forget, we had a 40-38. And the official talking to the Jefferson student section didn't like what they were chanting. Sam Schmidt will want that serve back. The 10th service error. And Jefferson sending out one of their stronger servers in Paris Alvarez. Obstad, I believe, tried to get Chaska on the dump. Free ball for the Jaguars. Block. We play on. Christ, blocked again. and ties it up again. Another service error. Oh my goodness. 11 service errors against Chaska. And now the Jaguars have their strongest server. And she hits it out of bounds. Wow. This doesn't surprise me yet or shock me. We had 40-38 a couple weeks ago with Burnsville Prior Lake, so it's going to take a lot to get my attention. But Jefferson gets themselves another set point opportunity. They've had 4. And Chaska has answered every step of the way so far. Mallory higher with 5 kills in this third set. Numbers are going to be inflated a little bit with these extra points. But we've had close set after close set. Free ball for the Hawks. This could be a huge swing of the pendulum. Or not. At least not in Chaska's favor. It's Ellie Sieling again, and this is where her presence on the rotation is likely being felt the most. In clutch situations like this, another set point for the Jaguars. How many more can they get? Ellie Sieling trying a couple of off-speed hits, but Chaska has picked them up thus far. They change direction. Touch by Chaska, we play on. Onstead trying to set her dump. Eleanor Erickson squeezes it through the hole. And it's fitting that a set point would come down to that. The smallest of margins, 29-27. Like I said, we would have needed a few more points to get to that level of 40-38 and really surprise me. But Jefferson, remember, came back from 8 down, a 9-0 run. They take a 2-1 lead. Talk about resiliency. Jefferson showing a huge degree of it. And they are 1 set away from victory. Back in a moment.
When the high school season is over, TSP Television goes on the highlight trail. Our highlight reels provide you with a valuable resource for recruiters and a keepsake of your favorite athlete. To learn more about our highlight reel services, contact us at tsptelevision@gmail.com.
Jefferson 1 set away from throwing the Metro West Conference race into chaos in the final week of conference play. Jefferson has a game with Wayzata next week, as we noted before. Chaska had the edge on Kiel's 16-13, but it's the service errors that are really hurting the Hawks. 11-4. And Chaska had several errors when they evened the score in those extra points. You also got a glimpse of the impact Ellie Sieling has that Jefferson has missed in her absence as she was nursing her way back from an ankle sprain, picking up several points late. All of that adds up. And Chaska, they have to regroup. It's not over yet. Avery Rosenberg, as long as they've got her on the floor. Mallory higher too. Chaska has the hitters to bounce their way back, but those free points they gave up in that third set on all those service miscues. That's going to sting if they don't get a win here. Hitting error on Ellie Sieling. She has struggled a bit in the hitting game. I've got her at 8 errors unofficially. And she misfires again. Again, the data a little askew, but Cassie not the most accurate of hitters. Doesn't have those astronomical percentages like you might see on Wayzata, Meyer Lutheran, or Southwest Christian. But Jefferson, as we said before, scrappy group, they can get the job done. Point for the Hawks as Melanie Meyer got tangled up and couldn't do much on that hit. A quick 4-0 start for the Hawks. But Jefferson, they've been in this situation before. They came back from 8 down in that third set. But it's Chaska firing on all cylinders. Avery Rosenberg from the right side slams it down. Six nothing following the ace from Sam Schmidt, her third. We should point out, this game was chosen as the top game of the week, according to Minnesota Volleyball Hub, and Jefferson will get on the board on the service error from Schmidt. 12 service errors. And there are a couple of games on the calendar tonight. Ella Christ. She's chipped in a few kills here and there. Not as prolific as Heyer or Rosenberg, but Ella knocks in a few. And there were a couple of options on the calendar, and one of those nights, and I'm going to really run into this, is Melanie Meyer commits another hitting error, so Bloomington Jefferson finds themselves in the very same position they were in the third set, trailing big. So they're going to have to work their way out of a jam again, with Chaska leading 8-1. Jefferson calling the first of 2 timeouts. But, you know, as a sports fan, there were several games on the calendar tonight that looked appetizing. Centennial St. Michael Abbeville, the Knights working their way into the top 10 in the most recent poll. Wayzata and Minnetonka with a rematch. Quite a few others. And we're going to see another conference battle of sorts in a couple of days when Hutchinson and Southwest Christian meet. Hutchinson had been in the top 10 in Class 3A most of the season, dropped out in the most recent poll. And Jefferson looking out of sorts again. Another deficit. The only point they have scored thus far came on a service error. Mallory Higher hits that out of bounds. Only 3 hitting errors for Mallory, the future Gopher women's basketball player. Emma Olsen back on serve. She's someone who can help the Jaguars get back on track. Won't get credit with the ace there, but Jefferson unable to keep it, or I should say Chaska unable to keep it on their side. And Olsen hits that into the net. Could we be headed for another 5-set game? We had 3 in a row a couple weeks ago. Three in a row on our broadcast schedule, that is. Melanie Meyer scoring, I believe, the first kill for the Jaguars. If not, I stand corrected, or I offer my apologies. Again, I'm not the official scorekeeper. I just keep track to give you a sense of how the game is flowing. Ellie Sieling hit that into the net. Let's see if Jefferson can pick up some momentum. Meyer with the running floater. Moves over to the outside position, which is her sweet spot, and she lands another sweet stroke. Can Chaska hang on to the lead, or does Jefferson have another comeback within them? That's the question we will answer here in this 4th set. Between a team that's been in the top 10 all season and a group that got as high as 2nd before the injury to Ellie Sieling. Sent them tumbling. But Jefferson did make a few adjustments, learned a couple things about themselves, and were able to pick up some wins along the way. Eleanor Erickson scores on the cross-court hit. Jefferson within 5. Again, Erickson does have a few kills to her credit this season. Melanie Meyer with a huge up against Christ. Chaska should get another good chance here. And Chris comes up clutch that time. 13-7. Schmidt will be charged with a hitting error, but you may have noticed she had to make a quick adjustment on the set she received from Thompson. Was getting into a wind-up motion and then had to backtrack ever so slightly. Avery Rosenberg makes up for it on the next play, scoring on the hit. And so far, Chaska hasn't given Jefferson that counter run. Erickson from the middle. Not the best attacking position. And Christ will score off the block. And it's looking like we could be seeing a 5th and final. Rosenberg gets the deflection. Or she painted the line. I couldn't tell from here. Either way, it's a point for Rosenberg. Timeout, Jefferson, 16-8. This is where they used up the second timeout in the third set.
Let's do one more raffle ticket. This one.
So, does Bloomington Jefferson have another run within them?
6, 51-16. Going to win the toys.
And not much to say here, with Chaska leading the way in the hitting 8-3 in terms of kills. Unofficially, Jefferson still has more errors than kills in this set, 5 hitting errors. So can Jefferson? Well, they're going to pick up a point on the rotation error. It's not a call you see often. It happened a couple of times early in the season. Not a call you expect to see in October. But here we are. Paris Alvarez to serve. Her serve nets a free ball for the Jaguars, and Cassie Sieling pounces on it. That shot a no-doubter. Cassie Sieling touched the net, point for the Hawks. Thompson to Rosenberg. Meyer. We didn't have the best of sets. Look out. Did Meyer touch the line? No. Anytime Thompson can set up Meyer in the outside position, she can make opponents tremble, but Meyer couldn't find the mark there. Line judge ruled it in, and from up here, Avery Rosenberg's cut looked good. Her 5th kill. Rosenberg piling up points here in the later sets. Meyer gets it off the Chaska block. The question for Jefferson is, can they mount a counter run? So far, they haven't been able to chip away at Chaska's advantage. Overpass on the serve receive. And Ellie Sieling converts it into a point, while her twin sister is serving. She commits a service error.
Substitution, number 5, Sam Schmidt checking in. Serving up for the Hawks, Katrina Thompson.
Well, now you've got a skull chant with the Jefferson fan base. And a denial. I'm not sure if it was a block or if it crossed or didn't cross the net. Chaska will take it, and they go back up by 7. You get the sense this one is going to go to a 5th set. Ellie Sieling with the tap. And Chaska couldn't adjust in time. So Ellie Sieling picking up a couple of kills after struggling initially. And Eleanor Erickson taps it down for a point. Erickson, we mentioned her multi-sport athleticism, discus and volleyball. Also ambidextrous, she can use both hands and often does across the sports she plays. Melanie Meyer picks up an ace. And now Jefferson is starting to close in. They still trail by 4, and again, out of timeouts. But Meyer has struggled in the service game for the Jaguars. That is her 3rd service error. Struggled in comparison to someone like Emma Olsen. Sam Schmidt points to her teammate, Makina Larson. And Chaska 3 away from forcing a 5th and final, and it's looking like we're headed that way. But even if Jefferson can't come back, you keep plugging away because you can gain some valuable notes if you do have to play a 5th set. Ella Christ on the cross-court shot. Having a fine display in this 4th set. 4 kills unofficially. So she's up to double digits. Chaska doing a solid job reading Obstad's setter dumps here in the 4th set. Hawks 2 away. One of the longer rallies of this 4th set. And it ends with a Larson block. Larson 6 feet. And Larson coming around after some passing errors early in this game. Chaska with a bevy of set points. Got up big early and never relinquished it. Ellie Sieling gets that between the block and the net. Sam Schmidt hits that out of bounds. Chaska still with 6 set points. Jefferson, though, not going away, and it goes back to what I was talking about a minute ago as Erickson and Barnes team up on the block there. Even if Jefferson doesn't take this set, this could give him a little momentum heading into the 5th set, just to help regain the confidence. Barnes gets in on the action, and at the very least, what Jefferson is doing is enough to give Chaska pause. We saw this in the Chaska-Shakopee game. So Jefferson trying to mount a comeback here. The Hawks still have a timeout left if they need it. The theme with Jefferson ever since we started covering them, scrappiness, resilience. They don't give up easily. Whatever happens, if we do go to a 5th set, Jefferson cannot afford another deep hole. They can work their way out of them, but it requires a lot. And Chaska At 8 set points, Jefferson has scored 4 in a row. Again, we saw this with Shakopee when it looked like they were going to shut the door on the Sabres. Instead, they gave Shakopee one last gasp, but that's the hard part. When you trail by 8 and face set point, there is no room for error. Opstad commits her second service error. So we are going to settle this in a 5th set. The metrics suggested we might head there with Jefferson at full strength and Chaska being the team they are. So we're going to have to settle this in a 5th and final with Metro West Conference implications at stake. We'll be back in a moment.
When the high school season is over, TSP Television goes on the highlight trail. Our highlight reels provide you with a valuable resource for recruiters and a keepsake of your favorite athlete. To learn more about our highlight reel services, contact us at tsptelevision@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Jefferson High School, set 5 about to start. This is the second game this season where the Jaguars have gone the distance. They beat Egan in their first instance back on September 2nd for Shakopee. Well, Shakopee was the team that lost to Chaska. I meant to say Chaska. This is also their second time as I peer through the schedule. It's the second time they've gone the distance in regular season play. They beat Shakopee in 5 sets. So, both of these teams are 1-0 against high-caliber competition in a 5th and final. As you know, we play up to 15. Chaska will serve. That hit the antenna. So an error to Melanie Meyer. Jefferson, they have to avoid a big deficit. To have a reasonable chance. They cannot dig themselves into a hole like they have before. The way Chaska opens these sets as the aggressor. Avery Rosenberg, certainly one of them. Four kills in the 4th set. She has 14 overall. Sam Schmidt with the service error. And if Chaska, if they end up dropping this game, they're going to look at the service errors and the opportunities that cost them. 13 service errors. Although Jefferson struggled in that 4th set, 5 of them. There we go. Substitution procedure. Here's Emma Olsen. Let's see what she can do. Ella Christ. We've called her name a few times. She's up to 12 kills now. Christ, Rosenberg, and higher. The big names for the Hawks in this one. They're looking to stay undefeated in the conference. Ellie Sieling is looking for that upset win. The first 2 sets were neck and neck. Sets 3 and 4, different story. You saw Jefferson come back from 8 down to capture the 3rd set, and Chaska pull away in the 4th, although Jefferson did score 4 in a row while facing set point to make Chaska flinch a little bit. Ellie Sieling finds a spot near the back line. And Ellie Sieling is one reason we're seeing this play to a 5th set. Again, Jefferson at full strength should get out of section 6. Ellie Sieling misfired. not the greatest of sets, had to scramble to catch up to it. Chaska in a loaded group with Shakopee and Eden Prairie, and even the teams in the bottom of the bracket can make a run. We saw Chanhassen do just that against Eden Prairie to shake up the QRF. That was close. One line judge said out, another line judge said in. Mallory Heyer is going to talk about it with the head official.
Point is here.
And it is confirmed. Jefferson point. Ellie Sieling came awfully close. And we don't have a corner or a byline cam or something to that effect. Mallory Heyer scoring. You can paint the line, or you can just do what Mallory does and hit that sucker as hard as you can. Mallory Heyer, what a fine volleyball career she has had. Ellie Sieling hits that out of bounds. The Sieling sisters have been on and off throughout. Cassie has struggled a little more as far as errors are concerned, but Ellie has a few as well. Chaska back up by 2. Overpass. This should give Chaska a good attacking opportunity. Jefferson with the answer. Setter dump off the net. Jefferson tries one, but Amstad, I don't think, could put enough velocity on it. Meyer from the back row. And Ellie Sieling wins the extended rally. It's been feast or famine, quite literally, for Ellie. Either she scores a kill or she hits it out of play. But this is what Jefferson needs. They've got to stay in it. They cannot afford a big deficit against the Hawks. Mallory Heyer once again, this time scoring from the right side. She had just one kill in the fourth set. Not that her hitting services were missed, because of Kristen Rosenberg. Ellie Sieling answers right back. She'll go back to the service position. We've seen a few big ups. And a lot of back and forth play. Ella Christ with the laser line shot. Right now we're trading points. That would benefit Chaska since they are up by 2. Dolman making a quick conference with Ellie Sieling. Now Ellie Sieling is having a conversation with the official.
I stopped. I interrupted. It's my turn. I decided to take 10 minutes. Switch it. I'm okay with it. That's okay. No, we're fine. I'm okay with it. It was my decision to hold it.
I've seen some pauses before, but not like this. Now that we've got everything sorted out, let's play. That's what we came here to see. Gardis lands an ace. 9-6. Jefferson will hold on to their timeouts for now. They took an extended huddle there. Erickson made the hits that ultimately caromed out of play. Here's Paris Alvarez, the hurdler, sprinter, and SpongeBob fan. That almost hit the ceiling. Cassie Sieling with a huge hit. Mallory Meyer able to make a play on it, and Ella Crystal score off the block. Chaska closing in. Again, a win here, and they're home free as far as the Metro West is concerned. What that would do for their section remains to be seen. And they're up by 4. Crystal Dolman's going to use one of her timeouts now. This has been the story since the third set. Chaska, the aggressors, they build that early advantage. Jefferson was able to come back once. They'll have to do so again if they want to steal a win.
No.
With Chaska, it's the big 3, Rosenberg, Christ, and Meyer. Bloomington Jefferson certainly getting a lot of help tonight from Ellie Sieling, but will it be enough? Thompson to Christ, and Ella has stepped up in the later stages. Chris the junior. When you look at this group, Chaska will have some pieces coming back. They lead by 5. And Barnes hits that out of bounds. Chaska 2 away from staying undefeated. They're looking to keep pace with Shakopee. They have that big win on their resume. Jefferson will get another chance with Wayzata. They already have a big win over Egan, but they've looked a little frazzled without Ellie Sieling, who is nursing an ankle injury. Cassie Sieling scores on the line shot, but Jefferson, they're going to need to come back in the worst way. These two teams may not dazzle you like some others, but they find a way to get the job done. And sometimes grit can be just as exciting to watch. Cassie Sieling again. Makes it a 4-point margin. We saw Emma Olsen land 3 service aces back in the third set. Avery Rosenberg hit it out of bounds. First hitting error against Chaska in this set, and that will be enough to get Sue Murphy to call a timeout. As we said before, Sue Murphy and Crystal Dolman, 2 longtime figures, plenty of wins on the resume. That hitting error by Rosenberg was a tough break, as we were saying before. The Hawks able to make multiple reads against Obstad's setter dump attempts. And it looked like they had a prime chance. They're still up by 3, and they just need 2 more to win this game. But Jefferson given a lifeline. Can they make the most of it? That remains to be seen. Emma Olsen, low serve. Chaska able to make a play on it. Thompson blocked by Meyer. We saw this in the case of Chaska. They had to sweat off, shrug off, sweat out. No matter how you phrase it, Shakopee made a late run. Chaska had to hold them off. That was set up by Christ. And the Hawks with set point, 3 to work with. Both teams have a timeout left if they need it. Christ to serve. A let ace. What a way to end it. Of all the things, of all the ways Chaska could have closed out, it was a let ace. You never know how it will bounce off the tape, but Chaska emerges with another 5-set win. The final, 25-21, 23-25, 27-29, 25-20, 15-11. Coincidentally, the 5-set win over Shakopee was also 15-11. An impressive win for the Hawks. Jefferson made an effort of it, but their early deficits in the later stages proved costly. That's something they'll have to address moving forward. Chaska will want to clean up the service errors, but the big 3, Meyer, Rosenberg, and Christ, did more than enough to get Chaska the win. We'll try to get a word with them before we wrap it up. This is high school girls volleyball. Chaska beats Jefferson in 5 sets.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
James, she's in trouble. Finds James, toss shot, it goes in!
And everything in between.
Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
Joining me are Mallory Meyer and Ella Christ, and we'll try to get Avery Rosenberg when she's done with her other interview. But Ella, we'll start with you. You got a let ace to close it out. Of all the ways you could come up with a 5-set win, you score a let ace after really stepping it up in those later stages. You'll take your points however you can get them, but what does another 5-set win say about this team?
It feels good. I think we all have the confidence now going into our next 2 conference games. It's really exciting to have another win in the books, but yeah, super fun.
How did you step up the hitting game and find your spots to attack in those later stages? Chaska pulled away in the 4th set and got enough of a cushion to hold off Jefferson in the 5th.
Knowing that they had a big block, I knew I had to use my shots wisely. I think getting them to scramble instead of making ourselves scramble was the key for me.
Mallory, once again, the steady hand. You provided a lot of offense early. When Jefferson came back from 8 down to win the 3rd set in extras, what did you talk about in the huddle, and how did your group stay focused?
I just said we need to come out with a lot of energy. We can't play scared. And, yeah, we just need to come out and play as a team and give it all we got.
And now we're joined by Avery Rosenberg. Avery and the rest of this group popular tonight. And Avery, you provided a lot of offense throughout. And how do you think your performance helped Chaska emerge with another close victory?
I think that in different hitting spots we were getting blocked a lot just because they were predicting that. So I just came in and kind of threw them off a little, and then that helped and make it less of an option for the other teammates, and they had more swings.
Chaska has picked up some big wins in the later stages of the season. Shakopee and now a Jefferson team at full strength. What do you think is different about this Chaska team that is helping them pick up some statement wins late?
It's coming towards the end of the year, so we're just really motivated. We only have a few games left and then sections, so we just have to give it our all at this point.
And Mallory, what else can Chaska tune up as they have a couple conference games left before they start postseason play?
I would say our communication still needs to, we're going to work on that a little bit. And then just our serving. I say we missed too many serves tonight, so we're definitely going to work on that in practice. But I would say our defense has really picked up these past few games. So
I'd say it's a lot easier to work on service errors following a win than the other way around. But congrats on the effort. You want to say hi to anybody?
Family, friends.
Family, friends, hi.
Family and friends, hey!
Well, family, friends, I think these three have a lot of them. Thanks for watching and congrats on the win. Thanks for stopping by. And one thing's for sure, you know how to tough it out in those 5-set thrillers. And if there's nothing else we learned from this game, it's that Chaska doesn't go away easily. You proved that again tonight.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mallory Heyer, Avery Rosenberg, and Ella Chris. That wraps it up from Bloomington Jefferson High School. For the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Beaton. Thanks for watching.